What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our Let's Play here on the Bedrock edition. We're still over here at our grid iron farm. Now, last time we left off, we had finished building off the actual infrastructure of the farm. So we got all 9 of the actual individual farms up and built. And they're all ready for the villagers to then be put into place. So our plan with the villagers is we're actually going to be teleporting them through the nether. And rather than having tracks run into each individual farm, my plan is to actually teleport them from the nether to each individual pod, which should hopefully work as long as it all lines up alright. So what I've got over here is that we've got a nether portal that we can deactivate and activate. So if we switch it off, it will do that, and then we've got another button just around the back here to turn it back on. Now what I want to do is clear out a little area here, which I've already started doing, and I've lit it all up, and we're actually going to have the villager breeder here with a water stream leading down to here and just send in the hopefully adult villagers through. Now I'm not too sure whether to send just the babies through or send the adults once they've grown up through, but I'm going to see how it works out each way because I'm not too sure how the villager breeder is going to be working with the amount of villagers that I actually want to breed up, because we're going to need 90 minimum in order for all the farms to be active. And obviously after around about 30 or 40 villagers, there's 2 ways of making sure that the villager breeder continues working. One is to make the new villagers part of a separate village, which means sending them at least 64 to 65 blocks away with another set of doors in order for them to reformulate another village, or to send them into another dimension, which is what we're going to be doing, which is using the nether portals. So if we go through here, and I'll show you what I've done in the nether as like a temporary setup. And the noise of a nether portal is insane. So where they're going to be coming in is through this nether portal here. I've got the same sort of setup here, so we can turn it on using this button. And then the villagers should come through here. We've got some trapdoors. They'll then drop down into this little holding area. And then from here, we've got a little double obsidian just so I knew where to collect them from. We're going to send the minecart to this corner to pick up a villager. It will then come over here. We've got an activator rail, which will then kick the villager off back through this nether portal. So obviously when that nether portal's on, this one's going to be turned off. So if we just go over here, we press the button to turn that one off. And if you're wondering how I'm doing that, it's just a observer which is being used as a monostable circuit, reading the pulse sent to this repeater, and this repeater is only being held on for, I think it's 1 or 2 ticks. Actually, 1, 2, 3, it's 4 ticks. And then the observer will read 2 pulses from it, one when it comes on and then one when it turns off, allowing the lava to be dispensed and picked up quick enough so it doesn't fall down and actually burn all of our villagers. And the same situation for this one. We could turn this one on and off, I believe. Is it this button to turn it off? Yeah, that one's to turn it off. And then we've got another button, I think this one's to turn it on. And then we should have another button over here to send our minecart. So that is all set up and in place, ready for our villager breeder. Now, the villager breeder is going to be the very sort of bog standard one. It's one that I've actually done a tutorial on before, so I'm not going to bother building it on camera. What I will do is that I'll put a link to the tutorial that I've done of it in the description below, just in case you want to use the same sort of villager breeder and you was wondering how to build it. But yeah, I'm going to quickly crack on and knock out this villager breeder, and I'll bring you back once that's in place and the villagers have actually started breeding. Right then guys, so I've managed to completely back out this villager breeder. Now I still need to get one more villager over from the village all the way over there, over to here to put down below where we've got our, well, we're going to have our doors down below. Have I got doors on me? Yes, I have. Awesome. I've already got 2 farmers in the little breeder section, and I just still need to get one more villager to put down below. I thought I'd bring you back for this just to show you the minecart track which I've ended up having to build. So if we head on over this way, I'm thinking of actually having a minecart track run into different areas around here after I start building up, because what I actually want to do is have other AFK-able farms in this area, just so when I am AFK over here, it's doing multiple things rather than just the iron producing. So if we head on over to here, and I like the fact that the minecarts, I like the way it looks, the minecart track running through the actual jungle. So if we just nudge this thing along, hopefully we should pick one up. There we go. There's around about 9 or 10 villagers in there. And if we just nudge this guy along, come on guy. He's facing the wrong way, go that way. Come on, there you go. Very, very simple to do. It was a bit of a nightmare running the track at first, but I'm going to have to tear it all up afterwards as well. But what I was thinking is having like a sugarcane farm, maybe a pumpkin melon farm, maybe a potato carrot farm run by villagers in the area. Really, sheep, get out of the way. And then have minecart tracks run into each individual area, because I think it is a pretty decent effect running through the jungle. So if we head on over to here, we've got another parrot by the way. I think we're only missing the dark blue parrot now. And down we go. This guy is now down here with us. Let's stop the water. Break you. Break you. Can we do that? And then to finish this breeder off, we're just going to have to place some doors. Make sure that's in line. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, you can have anywhere up to, I do believe it's 16 doors down here. And I think it's 16 doors. Anything over 20 doors, I believe, will start producing iron golems, which is what we want to avoid for the breeder. So hopefully we can get out of here. We're going to end up miles away now, guarantee you. And how far? Okay, wasn't too bad. Then we should hopefully have some glass on us. Now, I do know that glass can... the glass doesn't affect the doors receiving sky access, so down there is still counted as a village. I do know that leaf blocks will now block sky access. For some reason, that was changed in the latest update. It used to be that the villager breeder would work if you had leaf blocks over it, but for some strange reason, at the moment, if you have leaf blocks over it, it will just stop the breeder from working. So I'm going to go round and tear up the rest of this. I'm probably going to have a couple of nights AFK sessions leaving this thing breed. We're actually going to have to put on this portal though as well. So if we do that. So the breeder works in the same similar fashion as a tutorial that I've put in the description. The babies will run off the edge because you've got trapdoors. There's glass blocking the adults from running off. So when the babies run off, they'll then funnel down to this water stream. They'll drop down there where the ocelot is trapped at the moment. That ocelot randomly sort of wandered in as I was building it. And when they get down there, they'll sort of wait down there till they fully grow. When they grow, they'll then go up into the water stream, go along that one and through the nether portal. So yeah, I'm going to leave myself AFK over here for a couple of nights and hopefully get enough villagers to start transporting them into the pods that I also have to build. I have also gone off and collected an absolute bunch ton of resources. We've got our glowstone chest, which we've been tearing through, lighting up different things. That is literally just coming from the clerics, the glowstone. And that's another reason how comes I need a decent source of farms for getting emeralds to trade with the farmers. So sugarcane for the librarians to get emeralds, and then carrots, potatoes, pumpkins, melons to trade with the farmers. I done another run. The obsidian and track is from our guardian farm. We had all of that left over from over there. Packed ice was for the water streams. Got our pickaxes in that one. I saw random tridents. That was from our penta spawner, which I still need to finish off. We've still got all of our doors. There was another chest I had. What did I do with it? That's jungle wood and a bit of glass. There we go. We've got all of our glass. I had to go off, is what I was about to say. I had to go off to a desert biome, collect a bunch ton more. Bunch ton? Yep, that makes perfect sense. An absolute ton more glass, because I needed glass to do the villager breeder, and I also need glass to actually build all of the pods where the villagers are going to be. So yeah, I guess I'm going to probably see you in a day or two after I've let them all breed up and hopefully have enough baby villagers. So yeah, I guess I'll see you in a bit. Alright then guys, it is now, I do believe it's 2 days or a day and a half after that last clip was recorded, and I did actually end up having to make some modifications to our villager breeder. They were breeding a lot more than it was allowing me to keep in one place, so they was breeding the baby villagers and we ended up having like 15 to 20 baby villagers before they started growing up, and the villager breeder would then just stop working. So what I've ended up doing is just teleporting the baby villagers directly over, and in order to do that I sort of just dug the trench down and I've extended the nether portal down, so then the baby villagers just get sent directly to the nether. And at the moment I am doing a little bit of a cheaty thing while I'm playing around with the villagers, and that is I've switched my game mode into peaceful, because the last thing that I want at the moment is for a zombie to somehow wander in and transform all of my villagers into zombie villagers. So hate me if you want, but yeah, dealing with villagers on this scale and one zombie being able to mess up what I sort of need to get done. I'm fine building and stuff in hard mode. It's usually what I play in is in hard mode, but when I'm trying to deal with villagers, one zombie can just ruin your entire day. And the fact that the drowned can spawn in pretty much all places, I've tried to light up all of the water streams to prevent it whilst I was around here AFKing, but whilst I'm like transporting and teleporting villagers, I really don't want the random zombie or drowned to end up getting somewhere into the system, because I don't know how the drowned mechanic spawns work. Like, they've spawned in lit areas as lit up as these are right now, so I really didn't want to run the risk of them getting teleported into the nether, dropping into where I have all of my villagers. So if we break here and we just drop down here, then we could jump through the nether portal and I could show you just a sheer amount of villagers that we've got now. But if we do a little bit of crouch, so we should have, I think it should be at least around about 90 to 100 villagers in here at the moment. We hop here. Oh, can I get a little bit more headroom? Thank you. Yeah, so like I said, I am playing in peaceful at the moment, just while I'm doing the villager teleporting and transportation. And yeah, hopefully these lot should all grow up fairly soonish. It takes around about 15 to 20 minutes. And because they've all entered here roughly at the same sort of time period, they should all grow up around about the same time. So what I'm going to do now is do a first person time lapse of me doing all of the villager teleportation stuff. Yeah, so what I'm going to be doing is, I think I explained it beforehand, because it's been a day or so, I can't really remember if I explained it or not, that what we're going to be doing is, rather than running tracks everywhere, we're just going to be turning off this portal here, turning this one on here, and then we're going to be going back into the overworld and building temporary portals at each of our drop pods that I'm going to be building, and then just teleporting the 10 villagers per unit into each of their individual farms. So yeah, I guess I'll crack on with that time lapse, and I guess I'll see you after all the villagers are in place.
Reason and rhyme, grand and glorious.
Right then guys, so I finally managed to get all of the villagers in place into their individual pods. If I try to remember where this one is, just over here, you grab up these random blocks. Yeah, so as you saw in the time lapse, what I was doing, I was just building the nether portals on top of each of the pods, and then I was just transporting the villagers one by one through, ensuring that we had 10 in each. Now because there's 20, well there is going to be, I do believe it's 18 doors on each side of the individual farms. The villagers will more than likely breed upwards, so we'll probably end up having more than 10 of each in each of the pods. But in order for us to start placing all of the doors, we're going to have to get rid of this breeder now. So if we just bust in here, we need to get rid of these guys. Right, he's on the run. Come back. There you go. And you are going where? Thank you. And then we can drop down here. Get rid of these doors. Thank you. And then we can kill this guy. Nice. Okay, so, oh my god, inventory mess. Come on. Let's get some ender pearls on us. Gonna have to clear our inventory a bit. Ah, well that didn't work. And now we're gonna end up miles away. Awesome. So, what we now need to do is actually, wow, we've ended up somewhere up on a tree. Okay, we head on back down here. We are going to need to clear our inventory of all of the garbage. So, you. I was going to use the cheaty water block that we got. You can no longer get these water blocks in survival since the last update. So, I was planning on using it to push the villagers into the corner to pick them up. But with the amount of villagers, I've still got around about 20 or 30 villagers in the nether. Should our villagers despawn for any reason, we've got backups that we can quite easily teleport into one of the pods should we need to. So yeah, that water block I was going to actually use to push the villagers because you can place that down in the nether. There's our chest here. We put our obsidian, let's put our lighter and our cheaty water block into there. Our glowstone, that's our jungle wood, glass, glowstone. There we go. And then we've got glass, put that over there. Got random garbage blocks, let's throw you. Trapdoors can go there. And then we're going to need all of our doors on us here. Actually, you know what, we may as well just grab all of them and run around and do all of the placements. So yeah, what I'm going to now have to do is go around and place all of these doors in. And hopefully when we break this, the water shouldn't spill out. Awesome. So I'm just going to run around and place all the doors in. This will now form all of the villagers, allowing some iron golems to hopefully spawn. Fingers crossed. So yeah, I'm going to crack on and do that. Oh, by the way, after last episode, I did end up getting the achievement for the rabbit season. It was just cook and eat the rabbit meat. We are going to have to find one to do today. And I do believe that we are going to do an easier one. Push a piston with a piston, then pull the original piston with that piston. So how can we do that? You know what, let's just see if we can quickly do that now. Get this one out of the way with. We just grab, say, you and maybe some levers. So you want to push a piston with a piston, then pull that piston with the original piston. Which would be, what? Push a piston and then pull a piston? Is that it? I'm fairly sure that should have been it. I did turn my notifications back on, so if it is it or not, I have no idea. But we just do that. Is it push a piston with a piston, then pull the piston with that original piston? Where are you? In session. Push a piston with a piston, then pull the original piston with... Yeah, that's what I've just done. So why did it not? Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just going to leave that one and see if it activates, because the last one didn't activate until I think it was a good like 15, maybe 20 minutes later. Oh, there we go. Happy days, Inception. So that's that achievement done and out of the way with. I think we're running low on the easier achievements, so we're going to have to try do some of the harder ones soon. But yeah, I'm going to crack on and get the rest of these doors in place, hopefully get all of the farms up and running, and I guess I'll bring you back after I've done that. Right then guys, now I've managed to get all of the, not the villagers, the doors in place. For some reason I was looking up at the villagers and that just automatically overrid what I was trying to say. So I've got all of the doors in place. We are getting some iron golems now spawning. I have run into a couple of issues. I did do one sort of evening, probably about 3 or 4 hours worth of AFKing, and I got about that much iron, and then I was wondering, well, that is nowhere near the sort of amount that this thing should be kicking out. And what I was noticing is that I was sort of flying around and I was spotting that iron golems were spawning, or I did see iron golems sort of wandering around underneath the farms, which was a little bit infuriating. So I have to try to figure out as to why that is happening. As what I did see is when I was heading over to one of the farms, I saw an iron golem spawn like right on the edge here of the glass. He then fell down, but their automatic pathing is then moved towards the center of the farm. So what I may end up doing is creating another sort of waterway directly underneath each farm with some trapdoors around the edge. So if an iron golem does spawn just on the outskirts of the farm, they'll then head into the water stream, and then I'll just do the water streams leading to the drop tube. So then it will just be like another platform for them to be able to, well, not spawn on, but actually go to. So yeah, it's one of them weird little things that is just a little bit different. Now I'm not too sure as to why it's doing that, but I think it may have something to do with the fact that if you've only got half the farm loaded up, because from the center point, the farms themselves aren't chunk aligned, which means at certain points you will only have half this farm loaded. And when only half the farm is loaded, it means that the central point of the actual village that this one has made would end up being around about here, which means the iron golem could then spawn anywhere around here. The iron golems will tend to favour the spawn closer to the villagers than towards the centre of the farm itself anyway. So they end up spawning on the outskirts of the actual farm if you've only got half of it loaded up. So if you're running into the issue wondering why iron golems are ending up spawning outside of your farm, it is purely because at that moment where an iron golem has tried to spawn, it means that only a portion or a part of your farm has been loaded. And I've hopefully got a fix in mind for that. And that is where the iron golems are underneath. They will tend to try to either walk directly underneath the villagers, so in this area here, or they'll end up walking towards the centre of the village itself, which would be here. So I'm going to create another platform underneath each of the farms, barring the central one, because we've got the item elevator in the centre of our central farm, that I can't really put another sort of water tray underneath, because we've got all of this stuff and we've got the water elevator coming up here. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try that fix, leave it AFK for another night with 2 players on, because I only done 1 player for about 3 or 4 hours, and I was stood probably around about here, I dug myself a little hole underneath the ground. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm playing, I am still playing in peaceful, so we can switch that to hard now that the villagers are all in place, and hopefully we'll probably see some phantoms at some point spawn, hopefully. Because how's my elytra doing? My elytra's getting very low again because I keep on flying around to check if there's iron golems underneath each one. But I'm going to crack out and get all of these sort of fixes hopefully done, and that should hopefully solve the problem. I have also done like a spiral staircase up this tree. This is what I was thinking for sort of builds in this area. because I've never built in a jungle before, I was thinking about using the natural terrain sort of elevation types of the jungle trees and having spiral staircases on the trees with platforms, sort of like an Ewok village from Star Wars is my sort of concept for it, and then have farms either underneath the ground or built on the side or at the top of the jungle trees. I also do want to go round and plant a lot more of the 2x2 jungle trees to fill out the area, but I really want to get the Iron Garm? Yeah, that's correct. Iron Golem farm up and running to its full potential before finishing this episode off. Yeah, so I'm going to crack out and get these fixes done, hopefully. Leave it for another night AFK in and see how we do on iron. So yeah, I guess I'll see you back in a day or two. Alright, so it's now actually been probably the better part of about 2 days. I left it AFK for a couple of nights now, and the rates after doing them sort of fixes. The first night I had 2 characters on, second night I had 1 character on, just to see the sort of difference in the rates. With 1 character on, I get, I think it's 5 of the farms running quite fine, and then with 2 players on, all 9 of them are running and the rates are definitely increased. I did just see a phantom before. Yeah, I've repaired my elytra. I actually used one of the phantom membranes to repair it because my elytra did fully break. Just keeping an eye out to see if they're anywhere around here, but have a little quick fly around to show you the fixes that I've done. So what we've got is little water trays underneath each of the farms. There's a creeper there, so I'm not going to land. So if we go over to this one as well, so then we've got another water tray underneath here, and we're getting other mobs dropping down there, so we are going to end up getting like string and random bits of gunpowder, hopefully, if they don't burn up in the lava that quickly. Now with this one over here, I was seeing that the iron golems were actually hanging about underneath the villagers, so I've just done an extended water tray underneath where the villager pod is, and that's been pushing the iron golems off into the water. They then drop down to the kill chambers, and I've got the same sort of water tray system underneath all of the 8 surrounding farms. This one's also got the extended one because that's where they was hanging about. And then what I will probably do is do the extended water tray under each of them. Was that an iron golem? I didn't see. There definitely was something in there that just fell down, but I'm not too sure what it was. Can we get a see if any are spawning? Also, my nether portal, I've done a little bridge with another 2x2 jungle tree just up here. Oh, there we go. And then I've just done a little bridge going from one to the other. So if we drop down here, it then spirals up to here, just so that we can have a little hidden nether portal. And that's our way of getting to and from this area. Things come out looking alright. What I'll probably do is decorate a little bit more with some more jungle. Yep, jungle. Oh look, there's a phantom now. But they don't attack you. They just fly, and that's it. They really need to be fixed in the Bedrock edition. But I've not had one try to attack me yet. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm not too sure if they only drop the membranes when you kill them, or when they burn up as well. So let's just see if one drops from this guy, considering that he's on fire now. They haven't got that many hit points either. It only took me 2 shots with my bow, and he's just gone. And I didn't see anything drop. So yeah, I'm not too sure if you get drops from them if you don't kill them. But yeah, what I will do with this thing is because I had to dig out a little bit of the jungle wood, some of the leaves have started despawning. So I'll probably have to beef up the leaves around the outside of this thing. Probably do a jungle wood frame around this nether portal, and then do some more leaves on top, just to sort of blend it in with the environment a bit more. And then it sort of spirals down, goes to the bridge over here. So then what I'm planning on doing is having multiples of these dotted around. So then we've got like little tree platforms going from one to the other. And what I will be doing is doing like tree platforms going to an AFK spot over there, another AFK spot over there, to make sure all 9 farms are fully loaded all at the same time. And look, there's an iron golem now. Bye. Yeah. Very rare sight seeing them actually spawn, so I was lucky to see that. But I can show you our goodies so far. We've got an absolute ton of iron. Now, the first couple of chests is where I was AFKing by myself sort of thing, and it was actually running in peaceful mode just to see what the spawns were like. And now that I've turned the peaceful mode to hard, we should hopefully start seeing some random drops come in. But yeah, we have got a couple of the stacks of iron there. We've got over 3 double chests now full of iron, which is all happy days there. So that should do us like more than good enough for any sort of future beacons, because I think it's like 3 or 2.5 or nearly 3 stacks of iron blocks, and we've got what, that's like 9, 18, 27 minus say the poppies, which is every 4 or 5 stacks. So I'm not even going to attempt to do that maths on camera because I'll fail miserably. But yeah, that should hopefully do us for any future beacons that we could possibly want or need. There's also one other thing, which is how comes you saw in my inventory that I've got some music discs on me. And I've not actually done this before because I thought it was a little bit hilarious. So can we get some wood on us? I think we need 8. Okay, sorry, I thought I heard a creeper there. Let me just grab some wood. Do that. And we can make a jukebox. And then... come on. I have noticed that this area started to get a little bit laggy with moving stuff in your inventory. But yeah, let's try cat. Oh, that is absolutely ridiculous. I think these guys need to be closer to start dancing. Okay, you know what? We can just pick you up and put you down. Make you sit, and then just nudge you over here. We then do that. Put it back in. Yeah! Some raving parrots. I think that's probably the best thing ever added to Minecraft. I think that's absolutely hilarious. It's wicked. Okay, I think that's going to do it for me today. It's been a fairly big project, and we can hopefully move on to something a little bit different in the next episode. I have no idea what. It will probably be a smaller project, considering this one is just, it's been extremely exhausting. But I'm quite happy to have such a large scale iron farm, and it's definitely different to what I would usually do. Now, what I am planning on doing is doing a grid iron farm tutorial, but with a 14 by 14 farm design, so that way you can have them all active with only one character online. So that way, if you did want to build it in your own world, you could have the option of just having yourself there. But I went for the 20 by 20 designs purely because the rates are actually better than the 14s by 14s or 10 by 10s, and it is no problem for me just to sign a guest in with another pad, have it on split screen AFK overnight. So I didn't have to deal with the hassle of doing the chunk alignment. But it is definitely possible, it is definitely feasible, and it's not too difficult or different to do than the design that I've done. Let's stop that. What is the other music disc I've got? It is 13. I don't think that looks right, because that's sort of like eerie music, isn't it? Yeah, it's very loud eerie music. Let's let them rave away to that still. Okay, yeah, so that's what I was thinking of doing. I was thinking about doing a tutorial on the grid iron farm. I think that's what we're going to refer to this as, because it is pretty much just in the shape of a crafting grid. As you can see, it's just a 3 by 3 formation of the 20 by 20 iron farms. And so far, it is working excellent. Like, for 3 evenings worth of AFKing, and considering that there's another iron golem just spawning there. And what usually happens is that when you unload and load the farms, it will then check to see if an iron golem can spawn. So, yeah, you do now and again get to see them spawn, which is all happy days. That's our last rocket, so let's hopefully head back to the centre. There we go. Yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode, and hopefully I've not gone on too much regarding anything that I've been doing. But yeah, hopefully see you all in the next one. See you guys. Bye bye.